Alrighty, guys. Last week of session 2, Q2. Little fun stuff in store. So today's class, we will be experiencing the joy of Karti Yoga. What that means is there will be a lot of flow movements, a lot of moving in general. I don't want that to detract from all of the work that we have been doing, making sure that you are engaging the muscles that we are kind of going through in the moment. We'll start off with an arm series. We'll go into a leg series. We'll end with a core series, everybody's favorite. Yay. Your cores may be burning because I spent a little bit more time and thoughtful, caring, compassion into the core section today. So, yay. As always, so this is the last week of the session. Be sure to sign up for next week if you haven't already. Everybody online, sign up for next session so I know that you're here because I'm really bad at checking the comments. With that, as always, making sure that we're focusing on our own comfort levels and going to the point of the extremes that we can handle, the point of discomfort but not any pain. We're wanting to stretch and engage these muscles. We're wanting to grow and adapt. We're not wanting to strain them in the very beginning and then get hurt, and then I don't get to see you in the next session, and then I will be very sad, and I will send you an email telling you how sad I am. So if you find that anything hurts or is too uncomfortable, push back into your own position, modification, whatever's comfortable to you. Feel free to ask me for modification as well if you feel like you aren't doing anything, or if you feel like you're doing something wrong, feel free to ask me again. I'll push everybody back in child's pose and I'll come over and help you, I promise. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started in a child's pose, keeping our knees wide on the mat. If you have a watch, don't forget to start it. Everybody at home, keeping our knees wide. Feel free to rock side to side if you're looking for a little bit more flow. The wider your knees are, the more hip engagement you will have. Taking this time to breathe. You might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold and repeat. Bring awareness into all 4 corners of our body. You might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling your forearms pressed into the mat as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the floor. Letting go of any stress or tension that has built up throughout the day, and allowing yourself to set your intentions for the rest of today. Taking one more big deep breath in. On your next exhale, you're going to push all the way up into that tabletop position, keeping our hips stacked over our knees and our shoulders stacked over our wrists, pushing through the heel of your palm. You want a slight bend in your elbow just to keep a little bit more pressure off of your hip joints. I'm going to start here with our cat-cows, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, and 4, chest high up to the ceiling, bending that back. And on your next exhale, you're going to squeeze your core, lifting your belly button all the way to the ceiling, pushing through your shoulders. Deep breath in, arching that back, chest to ceiling. Hold and exhale, squeezing your core, arching your back, bringing your belly button all the way to the ceiling. Deep breath in, chest up, pushing through the heels of your palm. Exhale, arching that back. Adding a bit more of a flow here. We're just going to extend that cat-cow out. Next deep breath in, coming all the way into that down dog, hips touching the mat. Deep breath in. And exhale, lifting all the way back up, squeezing your core, pushing into a child's pose. Go ahead and do this 2 more times. Deep breath in, extending all the way forward, hips to mat. And exhale, squeezing that core, pushing yourself back. For 1 more time, coming all the way forward, trying to deepen that stretch just a little bit more. Exhale, squeezing that core, pushing up to tabletop. You're going to curl your toes underneath of you, still pushing through the heels of your palms, coming all the way up, finding that downward dog. Pedaling out your knees, making sure you're alternating each bend. Slowly working towards getting your heels onto the floor. Pushing your ribs into the tops of your thighs. Lifting through your core. Remembering to take deep breaths in. Pedaling out your feet just a couple more times. Going straight into heel lifts. We're going to push through the tops of the balls of our feet, bringing our heels up and lowering back down. Should feel this in your core. You should be pushing through your shoulders, engaging your back. Just lifting the heels of your feet off of the floor. For 2 more. Everybody's going to love this next flow. Slowly working towards coming in high plank. You're going to bring your knee to your chest and push back up into down dog, making sure we're squeezing our core, but we're going to alternate our legs. Using the strength of our arms, slow and in control. Bringing that knee to your chest. Remembering to breathe. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push. For 2 more. Last one. Coming back to down dog. Slowly walking forward, coming back into that high plank, lowering to our knees. Lifting straight up. Hands overhead, finding length through our fingertips. Taking those little side bends. Still remembering to breathe. For 1 more. Coming back into center, we're just going to open up, making those T's. Lifting as far as you can with your left hand. Reaching up to center. And reaching back with your right. Lift. And reach. Deep breaths in as you reach. Deep breaths out as you extend. Slow and in control. For 2 more. Trying to deepen that stretch just a little bit more. Exhale. We're going to walk our hands all the way down. Go ahead and grab that block. On our knees. Just going to lift the block up. Lowering it down, making sure we're squeezing our back and pushing it back up. Using our core, leaning forward. And lifting all the way back up. Lowering down, squeezing that back. Leaning forward. Squeezing that core. Trying to keep your hip flexors engaged the whole time as you're letting yourself lower. You're not falling forward. Slowly using your muscles. Last one, squeezing your back, lifting that block, Go ahead and lower it all the way to the ground. We're going to walk our hands forward. Find that tabletop position one more time. We're going to spend a lot of today's class in downward dog. Curling your toes underneath you, pushing through the heels of your palms, lifting your hips all the way up, working towards pushing your ribs into the tops of your thighs, slowly lowering all the way down onto your heels. Remembering to breathe. This next flow, you're going to come from your downward dog. Inhale, bending your knees. Exhale, bringing yourself to high plank. And coming all the way back to downward dog. Inhale, bending your knees. Exhale, pushing high plank. All the way back to downward dog. Making sure we're still squeezing our core, lifting through those shoulders, pushing through the heels of our palms. Inhale, bending those knees, pushing through your quads, lift through your core, come all the way into high plank. For one more. Bending those knees, finding high plank, lowering all the way down to your knees. Feel free to grab your block for this next exercise. Couldn't skip bird dogs again, so we have to. Go ahead and lift, extending your left hand out, kicking that right leg back, squeezing through your core. You're looking for a straight line from the tips of your fingers, top of your head, hips to toes. Deep breath in, finding that length. And on your exhale, you're bringing elbow to knee, squeezing that glute, squeezing that core. Should keep your glute and core engaged the entire time. Doesn't matter how many of these you do, what matters is the quality. For two more. Last one, we're switching to the other side. Go ahead and extend out that right arm, kick back that left leg. Looking for length in that straight line, meeting elbow to knee on that exhale. Inhale, length. Exhale, squeeze. Working on our stabilization. Using our breath to help us with every movement. Three more. Make these ones the best ones. Squeeze as hard as you can. Last one. Lowering arm and leg all the way down, lifting back on to our knees. Feel free to grab your block for this stretch here. If you find you have minimal mobility, we're going to reach back, coming into a half camel, lifting right arm over your head, length through those fingertips. Go ahead and adjust your block as needed. One more deep breath in. Exhale, coming all the way back up to center and reaching back with the other hand now. Looking for length through those fingertips. One more deep breath in. Exhale, reaching up back to center. We're going to walk our hands all the way down. Finding the plank, we're going to drop our knees here, lifting up our heels, trying to touch the heels of our feet to our glutes. From there, lowering our feet back down, lowering to chest, lifting up, hands off of the ground, lowering back down, pushing up, heels of feet to glute, lowering feet, pushing down, lifting hands, squeezing your back, and lowering back down. Might seem like an easy flow, but I promise it'll sneak up on you. Squeezing our core the whole time. For 2 more, making sure we're pushing using our chest and our triceps. Last one. Coming all the way back, finding that tabletop position. Remember, shoulders stacked over wrists, hips stacked over knees. Go ahead and curl your toes under and push yourself up all the way into a downward dog. Feel free to pedal out those feet. Now entering the leg portion of today's exercise. Don't sound too excited. Deep breath in. Lifting up your right leg, pointing those toes to the sky. Feel free to bend your knee here and tilt those hips to the wall if you're looking for a little bit more hip activation. Pushing through the heels of your palms, slight bend in those elbows. One more deep breath in. And that next exhale, you're bringing knee to chest, stepping your foot in between both of your hands, pressing up, lifting hands overhead. Deep breath in. Engaging our glute. We're going to exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Feel free to step on your block here if you're looking for a bit more glute activation, like we have in previous classes. If you're looking for a bit more support, you can always stack your block under that back leg as well. Trying to keep a straight line from the top of your head to your hips, only activating that right glute. Still remembering to breathe. Last one, lowering down. We're going to stay here, but we're going to bring our hands down, coming into those T openers, looking to expand that mobility through your upper chest. Feel free to lower all the way down if you find this difficult at any point. Still remembering to breathe. For 2 more. Last one. And we're going to pulse it out for 6. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stepping all the way into standing. Reach for the ceiling. This next movement is a little bit new. We haven't done anything like it before. It is a great cardio component. Making sure, taking a deep breath in. When you're ready, we're going to step back, almost curtsy lunging, lowering our foot down, touching those toes. You don't have to go all the way down. Just reach and come back up. This is the cardio component of today's class. Speed doesn't necessarily matter, but we're just trying to lift up, squeeze through that glute. Feel free to step back in a normal lunge too, if you find that is easier for you. Remembering to stick with your own limits. For 2 more. Last one. Deep breath in and stepping all the way back, finding that lunge. Waiting here, high lunge. Option to grab each block before we meet in pyramid pose, straightening out that leg. I know you guys are getting all your steps in for Walk It Out this week, so got to do a bit of a hamstring stretch. If you're looking for more of a calf stretch here, lifting those toes all the way to the ceiling. Remembering to breathe. One more deep breath in. As you slowly allow yourself to sink further. On the exhale, we're going to bend that knee again. This time lifting up that right hand. Looking for that twist. Remembering to breathe. Exhale, we're bringing the tips of our fingers to the temple of our head. We're just going to bend that elbow down. Lifting it up. Bend down. Using that breath. Feel free to lower to that knee if that feels comfortable. If you'd like a bit more of a challenge, feel free to stay lifted. For 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and grab that other block. We're just going to come into a modified lizard. If you are looking for an increase in intensity here, feel free to take both of those blocks out of the way, coming all the way down to your palms or your elbows. Remembering to breathe. Allowing your hips to loosen here. On that next exhale, we're pushing ourselves up, stepping forward with that left leg, coming all the way into a yogi squat. This is difficult for you. Feel free to place a block directly underneath of you, coming down. Or if you're looking for a bit more of a modification, feel free to lean forward, placing your knees on your elbows, and slowly work towards bringing both heels onto the ground. Deep breath in. Next exhale, we're pushing ourselves all the way back up to standing, reaching, finding length through those fingertips. Bringing our hands down, meeting, finding prayer. Feel free to lift that right leg up. Coming into tree pose. If you're working on stability and balance here, feel free to take that tap as you work towards finding your balance. If you would like to increase the intensity, feel free to kick over that foot on top of that knee, slowly lower down, finding that standing figure 4. Deep breaths in. Exhale, we're standing all the way back up, crossing that right foot over our left leg, slowly letting yourself lower down, finding a forward fold. If you need a little bit more support here, you can always stack those blocks, press your hands into them. Option to bend that right leg a little more, finding a deeper hip stretch for your left leg. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're stepping those feet back, finding our downward facing dog one more time. Feel free to pedal out those legs. I'm going to try to repeat the same thing with the other side now. When you're ready, we're lifting up that left leg, pointing it to the ceiling. Option to bend that knee, twist those hips to the wall. Taking that deep breath in. Exhale, bringing that knee to your chest, stepping between your hands, lifting all the way up, finding that lunge. Allowing your hips to get adjusted here. Deep breath in, slowly going to lower down. Exhale, lift. Engaging that left glute now. Pushing through all four corners of your left foot. Trying to keep that knee stacked over your ankle, making a straight line from the top of your head to your hips. Remembering to breathe. Feel free to step on that block if you're looking for more glute activation. Or bring that block under your right knee if you're looking for a bit more support. For one more, we're going to stay down, lowering our hands all the way, coming straight into those T openers. Slowly trying to increase the mobility through our upper thoracic region. For two more. And last one, opening up. When we close, we're going to pulse it out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way up into standing, reaching through your fingertips, looking for that length. Taking those little side bends. When you're ready, we're going to go back into that cardio component, stepping that leg across, reaching that hand back. Feel free to just step into a lunge as well, if that's easier for you. Working on that balance component, pressing into all four corners of your foot. Remembering to breathe. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift. For two more. Last one. And we're stepping all the way back into that lunge. Still breathing here. Feel free to grab those blocks as we meet in pyramid pose, straightening out that front leg. Looking for that stretch in your hamstring or lifting those toes, finding a stretch in that calf. Taking a nice break here. One more deep breath in. As we try bending that knee and lifting that left arm up. Coming into that twist. Holding here for one more big deep breath in. On that next exhale, we're bringing fingertips to temple and lowering down that elbow. Finding a lift and lower. Using your breath to expand that mobility through your chest. For two more. And last one. Lowering all the way down, either finding that lizard pose or that modified lizard pose. Option to press into both blocks, but if you're looking for a bit more intensity here, bringing it down to both hands on the floor. Or coming all the way down to your forearms. Remembering to breathe, letting your body know it's okay to relax. Feeling that stretch through your hips. One more deep breath in. On that next exhale, we're picking ourselves all the way back up, stepping close to your hands, finding that forward fold. Deep breath in, we're coming all the way up. Finding that length through your fingertips. Feel free here to bring that left leg up, finding that tree pose or taking those taps if you're working on stability. Option to increase that intensity, kicking that left leg all the way over, slowly lowering down to a standing figure 4. Gripping the mat with all 4 corners of your foot. Bring awareness to your body. Might find that one side had better balance than the other. It's okay. Deep breath in. Exhale, coming all the way back up, bringing that left leg over your right, lowering all the way down to that forward fold. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're coming all the way up to standing, unhooking that leg. Bring our hands above our heads, slowly lowering down, finding that chair pose. If you're looking to increase the intensity, feel free to put a block between your knees and squeeze it there, keeping the pressure even. This next movement doesn't really have a name, but you're going to reach forward with your right hand, back with your left like you're swimming, and you're just going to alternate. Making sure you're squeezing your shoulders. Adding a little bit more of a cardio component here. Breathing every time. For 2 more. Now we're going to add a pulse, lowering down, lifting up. Still engaging those glutes, pressing through all 4 corners of your feet. Finding a little bit of burn through those quads. And last one, standing all the way up. Feel free to remove that block if you had it there. Deep breath in. Exhale, diving all the way forward, finding that forward fold. Taking one more deep breath in. That exhale, we're going to lower all the way down, coming to our glutes. Placing both feet directly in front of you. Heels of your toes should be lined up with your glutes, pressing through palms of your hand behind you. Do those hip mobility stretches. So bringing both knees to your left, lifting them up, bringing it back to center, and lowering to your right. If you're looking for a bit more of a challenge, you can come all the way forward. Making sure we're breathing here. For one more. Exhale, we're going to lift, but we're going to lower all the way down to our back. Slow and in control. Bring our feet off the ground, hands off the ground. Coming into a sort of dead bug, but we're going to lower our left arm and our left leg, squeezing that core. You don't want any gap between your lower back and the floor. Alternating, lowering right arm, left leg, and lifting back up. Left arm, right leg. Right arm, left leg. Still squeezing through that core. For 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and bring your hands all the way to your hips. We're going to crunch up here, squeezing that core, and lowering back down. Crunching up and lowering down. If you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to straighten out your knees. For 2 more. Last one, coming all the way up. We're going to hold here, waving our arms, coming into those hundreds. Still squeezing that core, making sure there's no space between your lower back and the floor. Still remembering to breathe. One more time. Exhale, lowering all the way down, grabbing those knees, giving them a hug. One more deep breath in, bringing those feet to the ground, lifting ourselves up, bringing those palms right behind us. One more time, gonna lift through those hips, finding a reverse tabletop position, finding a nice stretch through those shoulders and those hips, lifting as high as you can. Deep breath in. Exhale, lowering all the way down to glutes. Lowering to your forearms, bringing them right behind you. From here, you're gonna lift both legs up, alternating, straightening them out. Taking those deep breaths. Inhale for length. Exhale for depth. If you'd like to increase the intensity here, you can always bring your hands in front of you. Still remembering to breathe. Couple more. And exhale, lowering both feet all the way to the floor. When you're ready, we're picking up that right leg, wrapping it directly over our left. So the outside of your ankle is over that left knee. Feel free to grab on to your right foot, your left hamstring, or your left shin, gently pulling that leg closer to you. Option to rock side to side here if that feels comfortable. When you're ready, we're sending both hands to either side of our body, gently letting those hips fall to your left. Trying to keep both shoulders still planted on the floor. Slowly increasing the twist. Gently breathing into that depth. Another deep breath in. We're going to migrate back to center, unhooking that right leg from your left, lifting your left, hooking it over your right. Option to grab onto that left foot, right hamstring, or right shin, gently pulling that leg closer to you, rocking side to side. Going to take one more deep breath in, sending both hands to either side of your body, and letting your hips drop to the right. Still trying to keep both shoulders planted on the floor. And when you're ready, we'll meet back in center, unhooking your left foot from your right. Bring the soles of your feet together. One hand over your heart, one hand over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to bring awareness to all four corners of your body. You might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the floor. Paying attention to the rise and fall of your chest. You might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Letting go of any tension or stress that's built up throughout the day. Slowly start thinking about your intentions for the rest of today. That brings us to the end of today's class. Feel free to stay and stretch if that feels comfortable. Thank you all so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you all again on Thursday.